I had discovered Ancestry.com probably about 2 years ago, and you could do a free trial for about a month. And I did as much as I could in about a month, as much discovery and research, and I found a whole ton of information about basically information that nobody had ever told me and nobody had ever discovered beforehand that I knew of, but that there was a huge, sort of extended family that I never knew about. So I got on Ancestry.com, and I'm punching all this information in. This is 2 years ago on a trial offer, and I was able to find a bunch of information out. And then I was like, hey everybody, I found information out. People got mad about it, but really it was just not so much. I mean, I did claim I'm the greatest, but that's Muhammad Ali, right? I'm the greatest, right? But anyways, the point was so much that I'm useful. I have use, and so here's some of my use. This is finding the Gripshover information out. The You go through here and you see a lot of different sort of things. Oh, it's not working that smoothly, but you get to see what I see. Okay, you get to see sort of the family tree that I get to see, and it's not 100% because I am making like this birthday list, whatever, and I want to make sure that's 100%. But that's still like a year or two out of the way from actually getting it all completed, because this is something older people do. This is something, so I glanced at it. I made some sort of, I did a little bit more in glance. I mean, I looked at it for like a day or two, but it's for an understanding for myself, but not so much to explain to everybody else. But anyways, this is my understanding, the best that I've come up with. Okay, so we have Johann, Catherine. We have Johann and Catherine Gripshover, right? So these are the two original Gripshovers here, Johann Bernard Gripshover, and then we have the Brueggemann, and then they wind up having 7 children. The eldest child is Catherine Gripshover. She gets married to a Verkamp, and then Anton John Thybee or something. And then we see Mamie Verkamp and Anna Verkamp. Anna doesn't marry anybody, but Mary does. And so we got more, ancestors, Gripshover ancestors coming from Verkamp. So if you meet a Verkamp, you might actually be related to them. There's going to be a portion of Verkamps that are also Gripshovers. And the Verkamp married a Stroob, and so actually she wouldn't even be Verkamp anymore. She'd be a Stroob. So if you met any of the Stroobs out there, then that would be the people that they're Gripshovers. So Stroobs are Gripshovers. Some of the Stroobs are Gripshovers, and probably none of the Verkamps actually, because she had no kids, and then she married a Stroob. So actually, that would mean none of the Verkamps. The Verkamp name actually wound up dying too. So both the Verkamp and the Gripshover name wound up dying with this lineage, but the Stroob name lives on, and then whoever this Anton John Thybee TB lives on. So that's the oldest, that's the girl, but I guess I don't want to say it's more important, but in a way they are more important because they carry the Gripshover name. When I'm looking for who the Gripshover, where the Gripshover name came from, it passes on from the men, right? So I look for the father, the grandfather, and the great grandfather. And so that's why when I looked for the Gripshover name, it was important that I found the Gripshover name going back to 1710. But it was through the men, so that's why the males are kind of more important because they carry the name along, and they're not more important overall, like in the world, just in terms of family history and looking about sort of the history of the family name, because the family name is it's not like the Cherokee or the Shawnee Indians. It's patriarchal instead of matriarchal. So, okay, we got Catherine Gripshover, and I do want to, I'm going to go through this real fast, and then I'm going to come right back, okay? So, we have Barney Gripshover, who actually, I have 2 of the brothers from the Deutschland that are related to me. So, you have Bernard Gripshover, Barney the 5th, right, who's going to be Johann the 2nd's boy, and they're both Barney, everybody's Barney. But you're going to have this Barney I'm calling him Barney the 5th, and I think a lot of my names are going to stick, and as I should, frankly. I mean, these are sort of titles. I'm entitling their names, right? I'm sitting there. It's not John, it's Johann, right? It's Johann Gripshover. So Barnard or Bernard, OG the 5th. I see I put the 5th. So Barney the 5th, who was born in Otmars Bacholt, dies in Kenton County. He marries Mary Bills, okay? And so this is a good picture too. So we have Johann Gripshover, right? This is what they look like. This is Johann Gripshover and Anna Katharina Brueggemann. And we believe this is the photo. Some people put some, they says it is believed right here in the caption. The picture is found in the attic of Theo and Francis Gripshover, so they might not even be the right picture. But it looks, I don't know, it seems like that's like a Brueggemann face. I've got some cousins that look similar to that. This is like a skinny sort of, I got cousins that look like Johann, and there's Anna Katharina. So I see them. This seems plausible that these are the, so even the picture, even this picture is actually, you know, there's some skepticism, but I believe it. Okay. So there's that's Anna Katharina, and that was Johann. They're the main pioneers. They're the matriarch, the patriarch. They're the ones that have the rest of the other Gripshovers that are here in America. Barney V, I'm related to. He's going to have George Anthony Gripshover, and then who marries Mary Ann Damasco. And there was recently a Damasco reunion that had just happened. And actually, I'm going to come back to this. So George Anthony Gripshover and Mary Ann Damasco has Teresa Gripshover, and then Teresa Gripshover is going to marry Ferdinand's son, Camillus Gripshover. So she's going to marry her first cousin once removed. Here's Mary Margaret Bills. She is going to be the first woman that was born in America. Okay, this is the first of my ancestors looking up, right? You have Mary Margaret Bills. People say, oh, we're Confederate. So this is Mary Margaret Bills. She was born in Cincinnati, Ohio in 59, so 1859. So in terms of who is the first Gripshover ancestor that I'm related to, because not all the groups, right? I'm only partial Gripshover. There's different lines. Not, you know, Barney and Margaret Bills are going to have a different line of Gripshovers, and I'm part of these Gripshovers. But you're going to have the other families that have, you know, the other brothers that are going to have Gripshovers too. And I'm not going to be related to their spouses. I'll still be related to the Gripshover blood, but it diminishes every time because they get sort of this foreign blood, right? So this is Bills, Mary Margaret Bills. She's born in Cincinnati, and she was born in 1859. So my oldest ancestor on my mother's side was born in 59. So that's, you know, the Gripshovers, or really anybody that came along with the immigrants, they weren't here when it comes to, you know, George Washington and the entire American Revolution, or the French and Indian War, or the you know, the sort of even the Daniel Boone backwoodsman discovery of Kentucky. That's none of that's Gripshover. We were here after the Civil War. We didn't even fight really for the South or the North. Most Germans fought for the North. So and we were, the Sanford town was a German town that was attacked by John Hunt Morgan. So there was a, you know, we would have been living around Germans who had been attacked by the Confederacy, and I think, you know, just being a German, you would have more of a anti-slavery stance, but that doesn't necessarily, that just history gives me an indication that says that we were on the right side, and hope to God we were. But that's at the very least, we didn't fight in the Civil War. So some people, I remember my family said that we fought. No, we weren't even a part of it. We weren't even close to being a part of it whatsoever. So this is also on my mother's side. I have on my father's side, it goes back to England, and it sticks around for Virginia for quite some time, to like the 1500s. So, you know, I'm not trying to disavow myself from, you know, white America, but from my mother's side, my mother has not been in this country. When Germans got here, they were not considered white Americans. They had a lot of discrimination, and they've had a greater sort of journey than some of these other, you know, suburbanites, these white suburbanites. So this is, you know, this is my great grandfather and mother, Bernard V and Mary Margaret Bills, or Maggie Bills, and then George Anthony has Mary Ann Damasco, and you had the Damasco reunion that actually just, you know, just happened recently. So actually, I do want to kind of take a look at theirs, just to show you, because that I'll have a list of children that I was able to find on the census. But sometimes they'll misspell the names, and then sometimes I'll have doubles, and then sometimes I just don't want to commit and create a whole nother, you know, person, because I'm like, I'm not for sure if that's actually a real person. But it gives you an indication that there are kids that were born. So just to show you how it's not 100%, but it's pretty close to the truth. And so it's, you know, it'll get you to the truth. If it's not there, it'll get you pretty close to it, to where it'll give you enough information to where you could get there yourself. Okay, so we have Catherine Gripshover, right? Then we have Barney and Mary Bills Gripshover. And then we have, here's Henry. This is Henry and Kate Dickman. Okay, and then Henry and Kate Dickman, they only have two children. They only have Mary and Kate. And oh, actually, they have three children. My bad. They have Henry. So there's another Henry, and Henry. This is where the Gripshover name is going to be carried on. There's Ben Gripshover. This would be Ben Gripshover. So there's going to be Henry 1, right? Then there's going to be Henry 2, and then Henry 2 is going to have Cecil, and then we're going to see another lineage of the Gripshover family. This is this is Crazy Henry, right? This old Crazy Henry, and then we have Mary, and we have Catherine, and we have Henry. And then Mary Gripshover marries John T. Bishop, and so we're going to have some bishops who's in our family. And there's going to be bishop ancestors. So John T. Bishop is Mary Gripshover, right? They marry, and then I don't know what happened with Kate Gripshover. She's the one that gets. I got that she died in Boyle County, but she's the one that got locked up in the insane asylum here in Louisville, in Jefferson County, right? Lakeland Asylum, which still exists today. It's still a scary place today. They basically, what are you doing here? Just like lockdown. It was like prison type shit, and it was like, just looking at some files from 80 years ago. If I really need to file something to get in there, but they definitely looked at me as like, what the hell are you doing here? And wasn't going to help me, right? And you wasn't going to give me any indication if there was a file or there wasn't a file. Basically, you just crapshoot. Just go file the thing, and maybe if it's there, maybe we'll help you out, and if it's not, then who gives a shit? So this is, OG, original Gripshover. He's on the Deutschland. He's speaking Plattdeutsch German. He has a German tongue. He's grown up with his old man. He has this Victorian sentimentalities, right? They know enough to at least get into a family photo together, right? So this is Crazy Kate Dickman, and then this is Crazy Henry Gripshover. Okay, now these I don't know anything about them. In fact, I actually have more sympathy with these folks than I do condemnation. He owned land. Henry had owned land. So what would have made a person who owned land turn into a barn burner to go, who was so crazy that needed to be locked up? I doubt it. I'll be honest with you. I don't believe that insanity exists. I think insanity only happens, and this is William Glasser's theorist, but I believe it's in choice theory. I believe in reality-based therapy. Insanity happens when we cannot communicate to those that we love. So if there is a communication to those that we love is not happening, then therefore the lines of communication have broken down. You can't get someone that you love to listen, and that's what causes insanity. And that's not insane. That's just you want somebody to give a damn, and people just sometimes just won't give a damn. But that's why I don't think insanity exists. So when I look at the case of Henry Gripshover and Kate Gripshover, or Kate Dickman, what I wonder is who locked them up and for what, or who drove them to their craziness. Being a barn burner that's a sign of the oppressed. That's a sign that I went ahead and housed your tobacco and did a bunch of work throughout the year, and you didn't pay me. You didn't pay me because I don't actually own my land. I just rent my land, or I'm a sharecropper, and so therefore I need the profits in order to survive, and you're going to screw me over. So you're going to screw me over that bad to where I can't do nothing, can't do nothing or go anywhere. That's some bullshit. And so, that's being a barn burner that's the sign of the oppressed. That's just a symptom of some oppression that's going on. And so it makes me wonder, like, who the hell drove Henry Gripshover? So I do not condemn Henry for knowing that type of stuff. I very much sympathize with him, and I condemn everybody else around him who led him, who drove him to madness, who locked him up, who was the person that actually signed on the dotted line to throw their own family, their own kin into the insane asylum or juvenile or nursing homes. These are all prisons. These are all societal made prisons that you just stick your old and people that you don't want to deal with in some sort of hole. You deal with your youthful, your Charles Manson, whatever. You throw them in the juvenile. You throw them into orphanages. Kids that you don't want, bastard or orphan kids, you just throw them in a house, or those that you just deem crazy, that you don't think. Some people are crazy and they need some help. Some people it's just a cry for help. But instead of actually dealing with the cry for help, instead we don't deal with any of the issues. We just kind of put a band-aid on it and keep on going. But that's we just lock them up as if though that's, you know, just wanting somebody to, you know, I don't know, have your parents love you. Is that a crazy idea? No, it's crazy to have parents who don't give a shit about their kids. But in Grimm's fairy tale, we see Hansel and Gretel has a mother that's going to send them out in the woods to die so that way she has bread. So, you know, these stories come from someplace, and there's hardships that the Germans have gone through. And it's important to understand this, because just because what they're supposed to do doesn't mean that's what they're, I don't know, it makes me wonder, like, back at one point, if you were not a racist, you know, piece of shit, then you were the crazy one, right? If you were part of the Klan, then you were normal. Well, that ain't normal today. That's some bullshit today.